actually to see like the picks and bans that do come out there with the Jax being banned away by Lublin Shore. They've done this many times now because Kuban will happily play the hyper carries like Jax and Aurelia, but like every time they'll ban it if they can't first pick it.
Yeah, definitely. The hyper carries are very important for these top laners, and like I said, very similar styles between JWoww and Kuban.
Yep.
They both want Aurelia, they both want Jax. Shyvana is like their go-to backup because she basically wave clears and can split push at the same time, but they love those champions.
Yeah, I mean, where else are you going to see a team ban Jax when first picks Aurelia? It's like, you know these guys care a lot about the hyper carry top laners.
And like I said at the start, they have very similar champion pools pretty much across the board. So the Lee Sin is a very highly contested champion between Morden and Kikis. It's their most played. So you basically get double effectiveness when that champion isn't banned because you know you want to first pick it, you know you want that for your own team, and you take it away from the other guy.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right? Like, make the best choices you can, deny the pools. That's actually the funny thing, though, as well, is with things like this, as much as contested picks are useful to steal away, it also means that you're probably not going to kill their entire champ pool.
Yes.
Where, like, you're not going to ban things, you typically don't want to ban a lot of things after you play and kind of restrict your own self. It's like, when you have a match like this, you almost want to start kind of thinking back and be like, look, let me just make sure we have a strat that we know we can run and make sure that's safe. So Thresh, Lee Sin coming out as well here for Lublin Shore. Kika's going to have a pretty good time on that.
Yeah, they're just basically playing what they are best at right now. At the same time, Gamers 2, this leaves them an option to go for Morgana. Dude is very potent on that champion, and there's still a lot of AD carries up. This is actually one of the first rounds that I haven't seen an AD carry picked in first rotation for both teams.
Yeah, and they're hovering over Lucian right now. Of course, Twitch, another big one. We have seen a few teams completely actually skip the Twitch, even though we are on 4.9, so those Twitch nerfs, Lucian nerfs have not gone through. The optimization change is not in as well. But they're playing, you know, the old school stuff. Ziggs mid for Ocelote. I like that champion a lot, actually. I think he's a very strong blind pick mid.
Yeah, we actually haven't seen him play Ziggs at all in the Challenger Series just yet.
Yeah.
He's been going through Nidalee, Kassadin, and LeBlanc, and some Lulu when it's up. But Lulu banned, Kassadin banned, doesn't want to play the LeBlanc blindly into things, and he goes with the wave clear. So they're going to wave clear. They also have a hyper carry for late game in the top lane who can just show up to fights and then get on the squishies. Yeah. So right now this team composition is looking like a lot of wave clear between Lucian and Ziggs. It's going to be very hard to siege against them, and Aurelia can come around, has a lot of opportunities here.
Absolutely. I like Gamers 2's lineup as well because they have a lot of damage threats. They need a tankier front line unless Aurelia gets ahead. That could be a risk. We've seen them get punished from bad laning phases. She will be fighting up against the Shyvana. You mentioned that one a little bit ago. It's going to be Kuban versus JWoww. Very similar top laners, as you mentioned. And a bit of a brawl if they do match up 1v1. LeBlanc comes through, and now the last couple picks for Gamers 2, Morgana plus... Heck yeah, why not? At least for picks, just more damage.
Yep, just more picks there. They have pick potential. They have siege potential. You can get people underneath their turrets, just clear the wave, and continually just root them and poke them down.
Yeah. The only thing that's difficult there is tricky disengage.
Yeah.
Morgana's really squishy for a large portion of the game. You can't always rush Azonias. So it's possible if you get in on them, life becomes difficult, but we'll see if that's the case. Lublin Shore going to hover on their last champion. Makler, one of the most consistent performers for the team. Gets his pick of AD carries, minus Lucian. Right now, the Twitch hover will set him up for a lot of damage if he stays safe.
Yeah, and you talked about the disengage for Gamers 2 isn't that great. At the same time, though, Lublin Shore, their engage isn't really hard engage. They have the Shyvana to jump in.
Yeah.
If you hook somebody, then yes, but they do have a Morgana to disengage. So you'd have to miss 2 skill shots on a Shyvana to stop the disengage, is basically what would happen.
Yeah. No. Not all that likely, I think. Pretty good players tend to get stuff that they
I would hope so. Being all the way in a third, fourth place match, you have to be very good to get here.
Press Q, click on the guy. I mean, for the most part, it's going to work out for Dark Bunny. So it is going to be the Twitch picked up there for Makler. So the big 2 AD carries people tend to hover over. Lucian and Twitch are picked up in this game. Aurelia versus Shyvana, the top lane. I do like casting EU Challenger because I like seeing Aurelia's run around and do stuff.
Yeah, and I was talking with Deficio, and he was saying that there's a difference in Aurelia build, and you can tell what they're going to do. And as an American, I was like, I didn't know that because people don't really play Aurelia that often.
Yeah.
First item will most likely be Trinity Force, sometimes Blade of the Rune King, but most likely Trinity Force. If they go for a Zephyr second item, it means they're going to push. They're going to split push.
Okay.
And then if you go ahead and you buy Tanky after the Trinity Force instead of the Zephyr, it means that you're going to go into the team fights.
Okay.
So you're not looking to split push and duel people.
Interesting. So we're going to see which type of relic comes out then for JWoww. I remember seeing, I forget which team it was, I feel bad. I think it was at All-Star actually, where he went like early Alacrity boots, like before Triforce even done. Like opens up like Sheen Zerk Greaves Alacrity, and you're like, all right, he's going to run really fast. And then like we're making fun of him for being all squishy, but that's apparently the build. Like, it's okay just to stack move speed.
No, you stack the movement speed up, and that's basically her gap closer alongside Blade Surge. Because Blade Surge isn't always going to be up, and you can't always use it effectively to get to the point where you're like, oh, I killed the minion, and now I get the reset.
Yeah.
So running straight at the person and not having to use it is your best tool.
Yeah.
Because you have so much tenacity naturally is the big thing.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing. You don't have to like rush the Merc right away or anything like that. I do like one of the cool things about Aurelia is even though you max your Q last, so it's only like 20 base damage plus your your total AD. All the games you have to learn around how much damage does it actually deal, right? Because Sheen or Triforce or Phage or your hit 10 style being active or warming up the minions with your ultimate, like there's so many fun mechanical tricks with Aurelia to watch out for. And Aurelia Masters make it look easy. Like, learning the mobility on Aurelia is harder than learning the mobility on Lee Sin.
Yeah.
Because, like, put a ward down, press W is, like, not that difficult. But all the Aurelia games are, like, crazy.
All right, so now after the Aurelia lesson here, I want to touch back on the bottom lane. Because it's going to be Lucian Morgana versus Twitch and Thresh.
Yeah.
Twitch, not highly mobile. Thresh is going to be able to keep him safe. And we're going to see how these bot lanes match up against each other. Because there is a big advantage here for Morgana Lucian in the early game. Yeah,
true. That is a really, really strong lane overall. I mean, Lucian is picked up for his lane building, and his mid-game still transitions very well. He even has late-game builds if you need them.
Here's the thing, though, is Mockler and Libic actually performed better previously against their high-caliber opponents that are in the finals.
It's true.
Especially in comparison to Yuki and Dude.
And that could be a risk, actually, as you kind of think about this. And there's so many things that fight each other, because definitely gamers, too, if they can do well in lane, they have so many ways to put in a bunch of pressure early on, right? Siege up with Ziggs Lucian and close out the game before Twitch scales up. But if you do believe that Mockler and Libic are going to go crazy and be really big this game, it's like how do you deal with late game Twitch?
Yeah, it's very hard to deal with a late game Twitch. We're going to have to see if they lock him up. The burst potential on this team is actually in that medium zone because you have Ziggs and Lucian. It's not like a LeBlanc, who on the other hand has so much burst potential just by herself. Got a lot of pressure on Jude though.
Whoop.
See what he can do.
A couple of words come out. Looks like Gamers 2 going to get spotted very early. Invade coming out. Lublin Shore running right past everything, and they're going to look for Take Fun. Spotting this Aurelia. I think she's safe, though, but these teams very ready for the level 1 plays. Libic is going to be known to have that ward. Actually, Mord's going to kill that ward, I think, because they saw him put it down, and he opened with a sweeper.
Good start there. He started with an actual 3-minute ward as well. Not going for the pink ward. Some Elises do, and they get them on the backside of it. But pretty much standard starts here. He does sweep it out and get himself an extra CS at the start of the game. Denies the vision, makes sure that his buff is safe.
Lublin Shore going to look for their next way around. Let's see what we got here. Everyone's kind of waiting around. Looks like we're going to have a lane swap situation, though. Gamers 2 have sent their dual lane to the bot. And this is interesting. Look at Yuki's positioning. There's a good chance he's going to try to basically pull aggro on the first minion wave, kind of group them up, and then jump into the brush, and they will then focus fire a single minion of Gamers 2, which will allow him to freeze from wave number 1. Never mind, they're invading the jungle.
But now, JWoww versus Kuban, but he also has the rest of his bottom lane behind him here.
And that's going to force everyone away, and look at that one. Yeah, Kickus went for a greedy jungle start. He's not going to get that one.
He started on the weak side because the duo bottom lane here. He's actually going to hand off to Yuki and Dude.
That's awesome. Yuki and Dude, what a great play level 1. They're actually going to be able to give XP shared. Okay, so no level rush to win these guys, but it is going to be the one, basically half a level each. Those guys, Kickus, gonna aggro up and go for this one. We're gonna stay safe. There we go. Lublin Shore. Yep, they're on the right spot now. Blue buff gonna be shared between Kuban and Kickus. Looks like that will be solo XP for now. Kuban, I like this. He's on the other side of the wall to make sure no one's coming to creep jack him. That's not the case.
Yeah, at the same time though, Morden is pretty much going to get an only 1 buff start here. We're gonna have to see how that treats him.
Wow.
He's not gonna get himself a blue buff. We're actually having a TP to the bottom lane. Kuban's not even 2 yet because they fast pushed it.
This is interesting. So Kuban actually is going to be able to join. Ooh, wow, nice. The bind of the puddle earlier than you're supposed to get it, but yeah, that's going to hurt Kuban a fair bit right there. He has no potions left, and he's going to be in a pretty reasonable spot now. But he'll be able to join up and just keep leveling up for now. Kickus is going to look at his red buff. Yep, stand a few buffs start there. So looks like the teams have shared their buffs appropriately.
Yeah, very well played by them. Good start for Kickus, though, in the overall to still get the level 3.
Take Fun putting some real damage down.
Yeah. Take Fun, great pickup that we saw over on Mouse Sports MYM. But now in the bottom lane, there's a lot here to try and shut down Kuban. They're 4v2.
All right, will they go for this one? Looks like Gamers 2 do not want to risk that one.
If it was only Kuban, they would have gone for it, but Libic had showed up right on time. And they get nothing for it, except for some rotations there.
And here's the thing, actually, on top of this one, is they don't get to do the 3-minute Dragon play either. Like, most of the time when we see a dual lane bot, it's like, okay, yeah, they're going to get Dragon. Like, that's the cost that Lublin Shore has to pay for a lane swap into the top lane.
Ooh. TP just came out from JWoww to put himself top. Now he's up against Mockler in a 1v1. And we always say this, the AD carry is going to out CS very hard on that top laner who's just going to get bullied and is basically freezing the lane in that solo play. But now they're actually going to swap it back, put Kuban top, and bring Mockler to the bottom lane and get Dragon control back.
This is going to be all kinds of interesting. Yeah, here we go. Regular lanes coming out. JWoww's TP was used second, so there will be some kind of small window if Kuban wants to TP into a fight around 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes, but fairly small window overall. Ocelote still battling up Take Fun in this mid lane. Just trade the damage back and forth. CS pretty accurate between these two. And then we'll see at some point how the rest of these lanes are going. Dude and Yuki blue buff timing out very soon on the solution, so you won't have that infinite power for too long, and then Mockler could be pretty safe not facing that infinite mana solution.
Just standard wave clear coming out here. I'm glad we're seeing the 2-on-2 in the bottom lane though, because this matchup is something that we think will dictate the game, unless one of the other lanes something just goes drastically wrong. Because I want to see these two match up. Kick is making a visit top, but there's a ward there. It's going to see him.
All right.
JWoww is a little far forward, though, so he tries to force it.
Yeah, walks right on back. Now, here's the difficult thing, though, with a ward like that, is he has no way of knowing if he gets back yet. He can guess the 8-second recall. He can try that. And he's actually even got, like, more than a round to counter it. But, like, JWoww cannot know if this is unsafe or not. He actually would... He would have to give up CS, but Kuban's pushing anyway, so he actually won't miss anything regardless. So
no, he's going to land that binding.
He's going to keep him safe. Mockler, big damage. Already used Summoner Heal as well when the Lantern gets him out, but that is some very nice damage dealt there.
Yeah, it's that advantage of Lucian and Morgana that Dude and Yuki are pushing in the early game now over Libic and Mockler. But can Mockler get to that point where Twitch is just unstoppable? Because he's doing pretty well just safe farming right now. Haven't given up any kills.
True. But also keep in mind the gold difference actually is pretty reasonable for the fact that no objectives have been taken whatsoever, and yet Gamers 2 are still out farming by 300 to 400 gold. Kikis has gotten his recall back. Yes, he's got his double longsword. He's obviously doing pretty well to start this game out, but you pick Lee Sin for especially the early game, the very, very early game. You know, you cash in on longswords, deal some more damage. Morden, though, going to face check under this brush. Kikis already runs away. Of course, that was a very good defensive ward he'd put down. And Morden realizing that that must have been avoided because of how he ran back. Nice play.
It's a good play. Yeah, it's a really good play there. To know that. To notice that style. Yeah. Out on the same vein of that.
Ooh.
Very close, but here comes
risk.
Kikis.
Well, he's going to jump to the side, flashes the wall. All right. Flash lost, but he had to do it at that point. Well done by Kikis to show up, and everyone made the right play there.
Yeah. Didn't even get wraiths, but makes the right route out of the jungle and gets a flash for it.
Okay, so -1 flash down to the bottom lane. Doesn't really mean anything more than maybe 5 gold. If you want to count today's conversation topics. Take Fun. Starts to put the damage down into Ocelote. He has recalled once, still has potions, has the mana or magic resist as well. They're staying pretty close to equal there. A couple of wards still coming out. You're seeing these guys invest pretty heavily in getting ward control across the mid lane. Like, look how hard it's going to be for Kikis to actually gank when he can't get it on the left or right side in almost any way.
And a big thing here, too, is Yuki just backed. He got himself a BF sword, and now he's in that bottom lane up against Mockler, who hasn't backed yet. If they land a binding, he's done for.
This could be really risky. Low health bar, nice knock back, Dude. Not going to land much of anything else. JWoww putting some, taking some damage. Will not dodge the Q. Big damage from Lee Sin. He's got to be real careful now. 300 health Aurelia.
Wow, it's very close. Now they're going to force Mockler and Libic back in the bottom lane and continue the CS advantage.
So the good thing about Twitch is you don't go BF sword, so opening double doors and having to recall early doesn't hurt him that badly, but now, wow, Morden, huge damage from Kikis. He's going to stay on this when the slow's there. The Q's up in about 2 seconds right here. Spiderlink's not in range. He lands the Q, goes in. No, the summoner heal from Ocelote, and they turn it back and down. It goes. Take Fun goes in, gets the ignite down. They trade the kill back. Wow.
Yeah, overall, just very good play there from both sides. They do bait it and get the first blood advantage, though, for Gamers 2. End up using the heal there from Ocelote. Very well played by him. Give up the jungler, but he didn't have any buffs on him either.
Yeah, so Ocelote basically sits here with a small gold lead over his opponents because of CS. His assist, the first one was worth 100 gold class in the opponent, but hey, overall good stuff. Makler takes a fair bit of damage. Libic tanks for his friend. True support, he'll just get cold for him. Yuki's
doing a really good job of pushing the early game Lucian advantage here. You can see he's got 22 CS over Twitch. Makler just trying to CS underneath this wave. Basically saying, you know, I'm okay. You have this advantage because you're Lucian, and I'm underneath my turret. I just have to farm and try and scale into the late game. He got the boots, too. To try and dodge more bindings.
I'm actually surprised with the boots pick up there, but a fight at the top lane actually pretty high damage
on
both sides. JWoww's too low! He did not expect all the damage as the 10 style ended, and Kuban picks up the kill in that heads-up battle. Lublin Shore finding ways to put themselves in this game, but you're still at 1,000 gold deficit now because of CS, because of a 20 minion difference in the bottom lane. That's actually massive.
Yeah, also in the mid lane, too. It's around that 17 mark right now, and they're invading the blue here.
Okay, Kif's looking to kind of mess with Morden right here, and Morden saying,
Ooh, they've pulled Dude up here, too.
Ooh, interesting. So small numbers lead. Libic still looking to come down. Q on the Dude. Of course, that brush is warded. Take
Ocelote.
fun. Ocelote, that's interesting.
Take Fun is being a bro right now.
There we go. Yeah, okay. That was the pause. They didn't realize he had DC. There we go. We're back in this one. That was actually, yeah, Take Fun realized he was DC'd on that one. But damage under Dude, he's got to be careful on that one. Libic, the hook, the flash, everything coming out there. Do they have the damage? Have a Kickus? Yes, he does go down. Ocelote coming back into the game. And now they're going to push away on the LeBlanc. Makler gets one back, though. Flash the wall. He stays safe. Libic playing him around. Ocelote goes in for this one. Libic now stuck in the Dragon Pit. Does not have flash. He will aggro Dragon. Yuki takes some damage for this one, but still goes and picks up the kill. Gamers 2 firing back, now 1,300 gold up.
The 1-inch flash from Ocelote there.
Yep.
Gets himself right around the corner, but at the same time, I gotta say though, that was really, really nice by Take Fun.
Yeah. Definitely unfortunate DC. I mean, Ocelote did take damage for it.
Yeah, he did take damage for it, but he didn't die that fight, and he ended up getting 100% kill participation for himself.
Yeah.
And used Mega Inferno Bomb for a kill. So Take Fun actually being very respectable in that regard, and I appreciate that.
Yep. 2-1 that fight for Gamers 2. JWoww having a bit of a harder time here against Kuban. He first picked Aurelia, blind picked it. Is winning in CS, to be fair. Also, the Sheen Rush seems to be the standard item choice for Aurelia, at least in EU. But did give it the 1v1 kill. And Kuban, right, when you play match Aurelia yourself, of course, you know the matchups, and Kuban played it excellently.
Yeah. Aurelia's power spikes are all around these very expensive items, so her early game levels aren't that great. When she hits level 9, she gets a power spike with max to 10 style, but it's all around that Trinity Force and then what you buy after it. Just every item you complete, but of course the Trinity Force power spike is very far down the line. It's far down the line too.
Yeah, sure it is. I mean, you're barely a third of the way there with Sheen and a longsword, so you got to keep all of that in mind. Did actually invest in boots, by the way. Could have, picked up other combat stats, but did go this direction. Now Dragon being started by Gamers 2. Lublin Shore's around, but they won't be there in time. That is Dragon picked up, making it a 2,000 gold lead, and G2 actually are allowed to walk right out.
Yeah, they get that Dragon for themselves. 2,000 gold lead for Gamers 2. And also the boots being bought on JWoww was pretty much a reactionary buy to Kuban having boots on himself and being Shyvana, because he just got chased down last time. So in order to prevent a little bit of that, go for the boots.
Yeah, it's going to be good stuff there. You're going to see now what else Gamers 2 can do with their 2,000 gold lead. No one's gone back to buy super recently. Well, now I guess looks like Elise has plenty of items for himself.
No wards up here for JWoww. So Kickus, he has his kick available.
Flash up for JWoww. Starts walking backwards, level 9. Their kick goes in. Nicely done right there. Now he's going to jump back to the person. There's the flash, but the damage still comes through. Kuban, the Dragon Form picks up a second kill. Top lane at this point, it's pretty much over.
Kickus played that perfectly as well. Ward hopping in there with the safeguard, kicking him backwards, and then landing the Sonic Wave, waiting for the flash to resonating strike, and then use Cripple.
Yep. Oh man, now the culling now. Libic is not going to like this one very much. Damage comes out. Yuki picks up another kill. Looks like Gamers 2 actually crushing the ball, and they're getting vengeance for the semifinal match. Very well done by Yuki and Dude.
Oh yeah, they're crushing it in that bottom lane right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Lucian pick or ban next game by Lublin Shore, because they are having a very hard time dealing with it in the bottom lane right now.
Yeah, they've really got to respect that. And that was, that was Gamers 2's second champion pick. They were like, okay, look, we really want the Aurelia, and that one's actually kind of backfiring. But the second thing they went for was Lucian, and yes, it has paid off magically for them. Libic's Thresh, unfortunately, 0-2 in this game. Hasn't found his way in. Lublin Shore do get a blue buff steal, though, thanks to their sort of control over the top side of the map. You're seeing JWoww not able to do much of anything for the team. Pink ward's starting to be placed down in the various parts as well. Now Morden, he doesn't know he's been spotted. There we go, damage, jumps up in the air.
Where to jump to?
Bind comes out though. Morden gonna put damage and kick us. There's the bomb as
Wow.
well. Lublin Shore. The flashes come over, the kick over the wall. Wow! And Morden, the summoner heal, comes out in time, jumps back to another binding actually, but he's gonna be going down. Huge ping comes across. Ocelote claims the kill. And I believe he might have gotten his own blue buff back for that.
Ocelote's heal has been used on his teammates more than himself.
Yep.
Every time he's used it so far has been to save somebody and pick up a kill because he baits somebody too far in. He's just playing this matchup very, very well and using that summoner spell to the full potential.
Oh yeah, masterfully played. The fact that he hasn't been pressured in the mid lane.
Yeah.
He hasn't had to use it on himself. Take Fun's been unable to push him down, so I gotta say, you know, great job to Ocelote and great job to Yuki and Dio. Those are the points I'm seeing really push this game forward. Excellent by these guys. 5-4 in the game plus a turret.
This was just beautiful. Morden goes up. Dude ends up getting kicked as he takes a ton of damage from the Mega Inferno Bomb. But right here, Morden flashes over. He gets kicked back as he eats the dissonance damage, and it just baits him in, and he gets healed and goes back to his original spot, where Dude is already waiting for him. And the great collapse there, because they got the bottom turret, and now the bottom lane saying, all right, Mockler's going to freeze. We're going to go get towers. They go get mid. Now they're going top.
This is great. Now Kuban's under fire. He's got nowhere to go. Can he get the massive outplay? I doubt it, but hey, there's low enough health bars. There's the burst coming out. Yuki looking to claim the kill on this one. Dashes into the brush. Yeah, he's going down.
It's going to take a while, but he's going down.
JWoww couldn't steal it in time. No assist either, actually. That's actually missed out. Like, basically, gold missed out on.
But the big thing here is that Dude and Yuki just got opened up. They got the bottom turret by themselves for the most part. Morden came down there for some moral support. The kill had already taken place. But then they went mid, got a turret after that, and now they're going top, and they want this last one.
Aggro on for Dio. Nice spell shoot, but here comes Kickus. Kick R. Yeah, that's going to be great damage coming out. Kickus stays safe. Now the duel against Yuki, but he's got to be real careful on this one. Still going to go for the damage, though. Yuki out of mana, but he's got damage. Kickus won it from dead. The ward comes out. The flash. He couldn't reach him. Wow, look at that. Gets away just barely. And now here comes the rest of Lublin Shore. They're looking for Yuki. Damage comes out, flashes damage. Yes, indeed.
But here comes JWoww.
All right, JWoww, what you got? A Sheen and a Phage. It's going to be a slow and take fun. Damage comes out. There's the root. He's trying to dodge everything he can, but he can't do it in time. Ocelote picks up the kill. 8-6 now, Gamers 2.
I like the focus on the turrets that are up on the outer right now, and that's the goal here for Gamers 2. Then they'll start getting the vision all throughout the jungle. But meanwhile, Mockler's been farming bottom, and he's really close in CS to Yuki now.
Yeah, this is actually pretty impressive, though. The thing is, though, Gamers 2 are getting kills. They are getting turrets. And they're sending people like Morden to the random lanes saying, look, hold this. Don't give him free turret pressure. Pick up the golden XP. Push him around. And that's actually working very successfully here. So Gamers 2 have been making very, very smart shot calls.
Yes, very, very smart shot calls all across the board here. Dragon is up in about a minute and 20 seconds. They didn't get that top turret, so now they're putting their bottom lane back in the bottom lane instead of pushing their heads against that, so that they can go ahead and wrestle Dragon Control back and get this area. The blue is up now, and they're going to go for that.
Ooh, look at this. Yep, there we go. Ward is down. They don't have one in the brush just yet. Kick is going to get fairly low. Morden jumping one over the wall. There's the Ziggs bomb. And look at that.
Wow,
the coordination. The coordination. They look, Ziggs' ulti's coming. Smite it. I'll get this.
He didn't actually smite it.
Okay, just the Q.
Yeah. And Kickus didn't even get to smite because he didn't have it up.
Yeah, it was down. Very well played then. Yeah, Gamers 2 completely timing all their skills properly, and Ocelote got a blue buff.
Yep. Fantastic for Ocelote there. He also gets the experience from it.
Yeah, true.
Picks it up for himself. And now, 3-0-2 for Ocelote. And really, the siege hasn't even begun. They set up a whole bunch of wards on that right side of the dragon, all throughout the jungle. You can see it right there throughout the blue buff. So now Gamers 2, they're ready to contest this. They're ready to get there. But the thing is that JWoww doesn't have TP. He has to walk there. But neither does Kuban. So the question is, do you give up the top turret for a guaranteed dragon and bring JWoww down there? Or do you put JWoww on the top and just 4v4 it?
We'll see what these guys look for. Jumps over the wall. They're going to stay safe. But yeah, Dragon's up 5 seconds now.
So they put a pink ward in that pit. So now the vision is very scarce for Gamers 2 there. JWoww went top. Kuban's already here.
Okay, this could be a big risk. Kuban's going to walk his way down. JWoww, as we mentioned, doesn't have teleport. Kickus lands the Q. Morden's going to get stunned up. No, he won't. Black Shield is on. He's going to get away. Takeman gets rooted out. That's going to buy some time. And Libic loses all his health bars. Ziggs ulti comes across. Rampage now for Ocelote. Kuban goes in and claims the kill on the support. Exhaust does not help enough with this one. Big damage comes out from Takeman. He's got to get back out, though. Ziggs bomb putting out big damage.
If they can hold off
and
for
he's not in a good spot. Ocelote gets the kill again. He is unstoppable. 2 for 1 in this fight. Lublin Shore forced away.
Yeah, they got a 2 for 1 and a 5-on-4, where they are outnumbered on Gamers 2. Now JWoww is finally here, and he's just doing zone duty right now. He's just trying to clean up, make sure nobody can even come close, and then he'll go to the Dragon.
And they absolutely can't right now, so Gamers 2 claim another Dragon. They're going to go from 5,000 to about 6,000 gold in this game. 31K to 25.4. G2 repeatedly in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and Lublin Shore right there, they were like, we have a numbers advantage. They tried to push it, but they were just split in their focus. Take Fun, he can't 100-0 somebody just yet with his items, and he went after Ocelote there. Tried to get in there. Great cocoon and Black Shield there to stop Kickus from doing any damage. He's immediately out of the fight, and Libic overextends. He eats the Mega Inferno Bomb, and now Morden comes off on the side and just continues to zone the rest of the team. Mockler isn't doing any damage to Ocelote and Yuki this entire time. He goes after Morden, who just walks away when they focus him, and they leave Take Fun by himself, who just gets 2v1'd.
Yeah, Morden really did play that well. Twitch ulted and got like 2 attacks off with it. That is a complete loss of an AD carry. Blade of the Ruin King Twitch not going to do anything during Spray and Pray, or Rat-a-tat-tat, as it is now. Is pretty rough for these guys. Gamers 2 playing fights exceptionally well right here. Again, Take Fun going in and also good damage is there. Minefield comes across. Wow, the damage! Take Fun forcing it away from that one with a flash goes in, does claim the kill. Assist there to Thresh. Finally getting rid of Ocelote.
Ocelote used the satchel charge, only went about a foot away. Was up against the wall and couldn't get the full distance. So the tether was not broken and ended up in a fight he didn't want to pick.
Yeah, well done by Take Fun finally getting some better use out of that assassin. Take Fun's been making pretty good plays, but half the time, as you can see by his scoreline, he gets killed for it. He was 2 and 3 up to that point in a game that's honestly very close in kills, finally getting the mostly 1v1 over Ocelote, something that has to happen more.
Yeah, that absolutely. And Ocelote, he gets the shutdown gold taken away from him to Take Fun. So now he's 5-1-2. And this pink ward up top has actually been there for a very long time. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and clear that one out. That's been there since Lucian was trying to kill Kickus.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that
one.
He
placed that in there, and then he got the ward hop away. So they hadn't cleared it out for a very long while.
But that game's going to backfire for now. He's going to walk around, Kickus actually continues to ward for his top laner. You're seeing Kuban now getting some share of the Sightstone wards. Nice teamwork there. Kickus making his way to the top. Even if not the gank, Twitch looks for a bit of a gank right here, but there's too many of Gamers 2 around, so Mockler walks right back out and says, never mind, that wasn't going to be a good ambush.
Gamers 2 aren't even paying attention to their bot lane right now, which is pushed up all the way into them, or their red buff. They're actually just focused on trying to siege with the Ziggs, but I think it might be a little early for that. They have a better setup available for it, but they're going to try to force it here. They do have the teleport from JWoww available. If they can get a pick, they can get double stuns, the Dark Binding and Cocoon.
Well, they have just enough minions to get some damage down, and yeah, with the pick potential of the long-range skill shots, maybe they find their way out of this one. The build for Lucian, interesting. He does get a static Shiv second, which is even better wave clear. Also sets him up for better late-game damage output at 3 or 4 items, so that might pan out really nicely for him, actually, if he needs to carry teamfights a bit harder than you normally would with a Trinity Force build.
Yeah. He's going to actually do less damage against turrets in a bursty sense.
Very true. Yeah.
Because he doesn't have the Trinity Force. But his prolonged damage once they siege somebody off will be a little higher because he has the Bloodthirster.
Absolutely. Actually, worse culling as well, since there's
that's
a
true.
lot of culling scalers on Triforce. More attack speed, actually, but it's less AD and AP, which scales it.
Yeah. I was thinking just the Trinity.
Oh, yeah. Oh, first comes out. Morden's going to be running backwards a little bit on this one. Damage comes out now. Ocelote, he flashes over the box. Nicely done. Kuban comes in. Binding his Cocoon does not, though. Bomb still putting damage down. Libic loses some health. G2 still running away with this one. They do not have JWoww, so.
Yeah, another 4-on-5.
Good retreat right there.
They do get the blue buff for themselves, though, onto Morden. They do blow some flashes for it, though. They just had blue buff control. Every time that blue buff has been up, they're at least contesting it.
Yeah, they are.
And they get it more times than not. And what is Kickus doing? He's on the complete other side of the map here.
He's trying to make a play for this one. Can they find their way in? Lublin Shore really trying to do something big to get back into this game. Mid-turret still has plenty of health. Lublin Shore's only actually killed one all game. G2 actually have not tried for that top turret again in a while either. They're kind of just playing a slower, let's get kills game sometimes, play for the dragons, things like this.
When Kickus was over there, I wasn't so much, why is he there? I was like, how was he there? How did he get on that side of the map so quickly? And
locked.
Yeah, he pretty much went through the walls.
That's true. That is a Lee Sin thing.
Mockler looking for a pick.
Oh. Yep. He's been trying though. It's the second one I've seen in the last minute and a half of like, is there? Nope, never mind. Backs away.
His second item is going to be something with attack speed is what it looks like here. Might be Phantom Dancer.
It's going to be a Zeal something.
Yeah. It's very, very likely. Doesn't look like it's going to be Youmuu's Ghostblade.
No. Youmuu's is great for caster assassin Twitch, but at this point I feel like you need ways to... Actually, I'm not sure. I feel like it would actually make a whole lot of sense right here because Youmuu's does work as a DPS item during your ulti, and he kind of needs a power spike to catch up. There's a reason to go for Youmuu's in this case, but it's very...
Well, the question is, do you go for the power spike or do you go for the delayed gratification and then just hit that bigger power spike later on?
Sure, absolutely. And he's going for the delay into investment sort of situation. Take Fun looking for harass on Ocelote. He's going to keep wave clearing back and forth, though. Minions just dying at the whim of the players.
Okay, really good here. 40 seconds, 30 seconds on Dragon. JWoww backs right now just to buy some items for himself. He has the Trinity Force completed. He's had it for a while. He buys himself some magic resistance and a pickaxe. And
okay.
He's going to go ahead and go top. He has his teleport available. Kuban does not.
Interesting. Yeah, that's going to be important for them. JWoww not that durable, but he's going to lose top lane turret starting on Zephyr as well as Banshee's Veil. It's going to be a bit of a split in priorities, but we'll see what he ends up getting out of this fight. Of course, Take Fun could have one-shot him without the cowl, so that makes sense.
There is ward advantage right now, though, in Dragon Pit for Lublin Shore, and they are there first.
Oh yeah, they're sending Kuban down right now. They don't need to use TP if you get there with your feet. Ward's coming out across. Gamers 2 are going to sweep this ward away, though. They're still on top of a few. They haven't swept everything out. These wards very easy to kill. I'm surprised they're even trying for these. Warden loses a third of his health. Take Fun now ulti on cooldown for 20 more seconds. Q comes out. Just some more harass. And JWoww's actually gotten to mid. He's actually pushing the wave up. He's going to require action from Lublin Shore.
Yeah. They're putting a timer on this dragon and saying, you have to start it up. And if they start it up, they're going to get poked inside the pit by Ziggs. Or they get pushed in. And now, look at this. JWoww, he's actually in a position to try and duel.
Wow.
He gets the flash because he waited for the distortion for wave clear.
Take Fun loses his flash because of the pressure in the mid lane. Nicely done by JWoww. Now it's actually Dragon aggroed by Gamers 2. Take Fun forced to go all the way around. He's not part of this fight just yet and does not have flash. Now 1/3 health. Who's going to smite better? They're trying for it. Now JWoww is hooked in. Does not have much durability. Colin comes across, doesn't find too much smite. Nicely done by Morden. Claims the Dragon. Now G2. Will they walk away? Looks like yes.
Morden's had really good smites all game, whether it's a blue buff or a dragon. And that's the third dragon of the game, going over to Gamers 2.
Oh, wow. Take Fun losing all of his health. Yuki picks up the kill, but it's a team effort. 3 assists on that one. Nicely done right here. Black Shield as well, helping to save Morden. And now the mid lane being pressured by G2. They keep finding these picks, and now up almost 4,000 gold. Actually, almost 6,000 gold. They can push mid.
And they're going to go straight for it right now, picking it up for themselves. But they've had control of the objectives all game long. They got all the outer turrets except for that top one because Yuki and Dude were just pressuring that bottom lane. They got Dragon control off of that as well because Ocelote showed up and they had a really good fight around the Dragon around that time that Ocelote had that little disconnect and stuff.
Yeah.
So they started running away with the game from that. But it really started from the beginning when they had that 500 gold lead, 1,000 gold lead just from CS. Mostly due to that bottom lane.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys have just destroyed 4-1 and 5 Lucian. I mean, Ocelote also did well in his lane, but individual performers, yeah. Yuki and Diode were awesome. Ocelote has been awesome as well. These guys have really come up to play today. Kuban is trying his darndest to carry this game from the top lane. He beat up JWoww 1v1, but he alone is not enough.
Yeah, and this was pretty much just a back and forth. JWoww ends up getting out of there, but then it's all about this dragon. Morden gets kicked away through people, and he smites at the same time that he's flying backwards.
Kick is actually smited first, too. He smited a little bit early.
Just a little bit.
Also well done by Morden.
Just a huge burst here from Take Fun. Even though he was invisible, he's not invisible when that pink ward's right there in the bush.
True.
So that's how they were able to see which one was the real LeBlanc.
And the real LeBlanc did pick up that blue buff there. Ocelote tried the steal, did not get it. He just got his own. Take Fun's happy here. Hence the name Take Fun.
For one of the first times in the game, he's actually getting his own blue buff.
That's true.
Because Gamers 2 has just had utter control of that area. Next place that might be in their sight is Baron control, as well as that top lane tier 1.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's still not down right now, but Gamers 2 have just focused on the southern side of the map a little bit more.
I'm actually really surprised that they're still hanging around the middle and focusing their wards around this area.
That's true, actually, yeah. We don't need blue buff wards anymore on top of that, so maybe they get their way towards the top side. You're seeing Morden head his way over right now. Morden is not doing the Sightstone Elise build we tend to see a little bit more in recent history. He's doing standard tanky stuff for himself off of Ancient Golem. Not even the Locket build either, actually.
Yep.
He's really going for individual tank stats.
And now they're going to start making their way up top. What they were waiting for was Yuki was getting red buff, so that when they go ahead and pressure this,
goes in, Kuban, yep, Dragon Forms, yeah, he's fine.
They make the kills that they could possibly pick up a little easier.
but they have control of this turret now. There's no way it gets defended. Gamers 2 are going to get top lane out of turret, and they could keep going if there's no real defense. They would push faster than Lublin Shore, so they're going to require a response.
Ocelote isn't there, and he's clearing mid right now, so it'll be another 4-on-5 fight if it gets engaged by Lublin Shore, but once again, they don't have Kuban's ultimate. It's very hard for them to make an actual engagement here.
Because wants to try, but he can't slow down JWoww thanks to the Black Shield. Cocoon's going to land in a take fun, though. Makler also rooted up. They dodge away on Libic. He loses a lot of health bar. The ulti comes in. He's almost dead. Ocelote looks for Makler. Can he claim the kill? Yes, he can, but I don't know. Okay, there we go. Picked up. Ocelote claims the kill. Now 80 carry is gone for Lublin Shore. Now 5-on-4 to Gamers 2.
Gamers 2 just starts these fights 5-on-4 every time, and then they just hold off and wait for their last member to trickle in on the backside and either zone the right people or pull attention.
All right, there we go. JWoww, though, he's got to be real careful on this one. Look at the burst back and forth. Man, these guys just keep fighting each other.
And Gamers 2 is coming out on top more often than not.
Yes, they are.
And they just keep getting objectives off of it, too. Not only did they get kills, they're going to get turrets for it in response. Objectives seems to be the game here for Gamers 2.
They're certainly getting fought off in every sort of case, which is why you're seeing so many kills, but they're still targeting these turrets the best they can. Now they're up to 5 turret kills. Many, many dragons as well. Blue buff steals on top of that one.
Yeah, I assume they're going to ward Baron on their way out, maybe with 1 or 2. But it looks like, actually, no, they're not going to do it. They don't expect a power play from Lublin Shore anywhere near that area, despite not having vision of it.
There's a real good chance they're out of charges anyway. I mean, it's part of the reason you actually go to Ruby Sightstone is sometimes you just have to put
JWoww had his trinket available.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of just trinket ward.
Okay.
Put something on it, because they have no vision on that right side of Baron. Like, potentially, Lublin Shore could just rush right to it.
There is a route they could take. You're absolutely right on this one. Mid lane going to get pushed down. Ziggs will wave clear it, but the turret's already died. Lublin Shore find their 3rd turret kill of the game. By the scoreboard, you wouldn't think they're down very much.
No.
4 kills, 2 turrets, but it's a bunch of dragons and a bunch of minions.
Every dragon has gone to Gamers 2. They have set up for it a minute in advance, and because their bottom lane is so powerful and Ocelote's so powerful, you can't really contest the dragon, whether you're there first or you're there second. If you're there first, you're in the pit, you're getting poked by Ocelote. If you're there second, he's throwing his bombs down choke points and throwing the explosive minefield, and you're like, I can't walk by into the dragon pit at all.
Yeah. It's a big risk for everyone.
Really good zoning tools here from Ocelote and all of Gamers 2.
Yes, absolutely. These guys have been playing so well as a group. They've really come to show up today, I gotta say. They look very sharp as a group. Gamers 2 now 40 seconds on Dragon, and like clockwork, they're there about a minute early. The pink ward down in the pit, the upgraded sweeper being used by Dude. Trinkets coming down. Like, you're seeing such good ward coverage. They are sure that no one's coming around. Even Morden's getting deeper and deeper wards to say, are you even close to your base? Are you coming down this path? Like,
yeah, and they're actually starting to stack on the magic resistance now for Lublin Shore because Ocelote's becoming such a threat. He's actually been a threat all game, and now they're acknowledging him.
Yeah, but it's actually even so late, though. Void Staff's already been completed, so those Negatron Cloaks are worth comparatively a little bit less than they would otherwise. Morden continues to sweep out wards. Good insight to see where these wards are coming in from. 2 seconds till Dragon. JWoww has teleport.
Yep. Dragon's
going to be an easy grab.
Back up right now. The pink ward is on it. And Lublin Shore just aren't in position to do it. And they're down about 9,000 gold. It's going to be more than 10 after this Dragon is done. And Gamers 2 just playing it very methodically, very safe, because they had that early game advantage off of early game bullies, and just a champion select lane advantage in the bottom lane. And they played it really well.
They did. Played absolutely phenomenally. And Dude hit so many good bindings. That's really the one thing to talk about. Is he set those up. Those aren't kills you just get for free. Ooh, nice steal there. Yuki gets the big blue Wraith. So now, 10,000 gold up. Gamers 2 has to be looking at, like, they have to know they're ahead by quite a bit there because they know they've never lost a dragon in this game, if we're remembering correctly here. So the test now is how do you close it out? Because we've seen games get turned around by, like, just individual mistakes, like really bad base trades, things like that. You want to close the games out to make sure nothing bad happens to you here. So Gamers 2, your test now is you're against a team who are largely not throwing away kills, not getting too badly out of position. How do you close against these guys? With a Twitch that will keep scaling.
Yeah, you have to close it pretty soon. Twitch hasn't even hit 3-item power spike just yet. And we have Yuki, who's going on his 4th right now. Big thing here is the ward coverage around Baron. Gamers 2 has a distinct advantage in gold, vision, just overall experience coming into this game right now. But they're going to bait this instead. They have ward coverage. They could go after Kuban if they wanted to. But I mean, he's very tanky. Well, they're going to do it.
They miss all the skill shots. He gets away from all that stuff, just runs backwards.
Doesn't even use a flash. Doesn't use his Dragon's Descent.
He pressed W and right-clicked. Morden now looking to do something across this one. Binding not quite going to land, so close from Dude. That could have been a pick as well. No Merc Treads on the top laner here. Actually, there's only one. It's just the jungler here. Now Take Fun is in
that's
the
a lot of
wrong
damage.
spot.
The binding.
Cocoon hits as well, and the burst comes out. JWoww claims it with the ulti. Now a 5-on-4, and look at this. Morden is going to find Kikis. Will they force the flash? He's going to walk around the walls. Morden lands the Cocoon. Yuki's going to come in as well. Good damage coming out there. Flashing over the wall is Kikis, but now that gives away some control over Baron.
Yeah, and the fact that they got the flash out of Lee Sin means he's pretty much going to have to sacrifice himself if he wants to try and steal the Baron. Gives him less options, less abilities to do so. Started it up. Kikis is going to at least try, but Dude is zoning.
No, ward over the wall.
Oh,
Yuki kills
TP coming
that.
into the back left side.
Oh man, this is going to be the fight that's going to mean a heck of a lot here. There's the damage coming on in. Q onto Morden, and they stop DPS on Baron. Just going to turn around and go for the fight instead. Satchel Charge Ocelote does get out. Dude kicked around. Can't find the stun on this one. Battle comes in. Ziggs Bomb lands. There's the binding. Kikis goes down. Now Mockler getting chased out. He's got nowhere to go. AD carry drops, and look at that. That's a 3-for-0. Back to Baron.
And back to Baron. Full HP once again now. The smite is gone. 5-on-2 in the Baron pit right now. Can Take Fun do anything about it? He got locked up last time by the Cocoon and Binding. 5-second CC, but Kuban, he's going to go for it.
Kuban goes in, he wants his big burst, comes out, they find 2 kills. JWoww's going to make that a 3rd, actually. Take Fun stunned up, he's maybe going to survive, but he can't get back to distortion there. G2's got to walk back out of the Baron pit. Take Fun stays alive. 3 kills picked up. That is some painful stuff right there.
Distortion, he flashed in, distortion, mimic distortion for the immense amount of area of effect damage on top of them, and they were taking damage from the Baron, so the increased magic damage by a static amount.
Yeah.
Then he used his Ignite and just picked up 3 kills immediately in that fight.
Yeah.
Stops them from doing Baron, brings it back within about 9.7k gold.
That was some good heroics by Lublin Shore right there. That pretty much completely equalized what that fight was before.
Now his name means he takes your fun away.
Oh, you're darn right. Baron equals fun when you're winning.
Yep. Take that right away from him there. We actually have Mockler going for an ambush.
He's going to try. No Soul's going to land. Dude goes for the stun right there. There's going to be a nice stun, and now the teleport. Mockler's got to be a bit careful. Kikis might have to run away from this one. Teleport is actually canceled there. JWoww realizing there's no kills available to him. So loss of a cooldown. Nice attempt by Mockler.
Yeah, at least he's doing those types of moves now in this game. He hasn't completed his 3rd item just yet, but when he does, he's going to be even more fearsome. He might be able to pull off an assassination like that. Granted, that was against the support. Sometimes we see a Twitch get so far ahead that the support, the AD carry, even the top laner doesn't stand a chance in an assassination. Here, very underpowered Twitch currently. Down 50 CS, 1-2-1 to the 5-2-9 of Lucian.
Yeah.
Who very close to that Infinity Edge here.
Yeah, it's a 1375-ish from where he is right now to the combine. Depending on items and golden inventory, maybe he's going to get that one real soon.
Oh, he got it.
Okay, there we go. Eye Edge is done. He actually bought a new Doran's Blade. He actually wanted to keep his items full up.
No pink ward.
Stats. Yeah, actually that one. Pink ward's actually probably a better choice, to be completely honest. Ward control is going to be more than 8 AD.
I don't know how long he's going to have it, though, is the thing. Because you could buy Pink Ward and Red Pot for the cost of a Doran's Blade for the most part.
True.
And it might be a little more effective, but we'll have to see what he does with that and how long he sticks with it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Pink Ward, Red Pot is actually a great idea. Yuki, however, going to scumbag his team, go for the self stats.
But yeah, now the siege has basically begun. The 30 seconds on Dragon here coming into a huge power spike for Yuki. Having the Infinity Edge on top of the Static Shiv, he has all of his damage items completed. He could go for a defensive one next, which I assume he will do as his last item. But now we see Mockler. He's still on 2. 2 to the 4.
Oh man, that is rough. He's got it close to Last Whisper, but like he can't get through JWoww until that item is done.
Exactly.
So it's like a 30% damage bump when he gets it.
Despite the fact that Kuban's done so well, Yuki has so many items in his inventory, he can shred through Kuban right now.
Ooh, there's going to be a flanker looking for this one. Speaking of Kuban, he wants to get in from behind anyway and try to make it happen. They don't have Twitch just yet. He's going to back off, put some wards down as he leaves. So
Blue's up, Dragon's up. Gamers 2 are going to try to take those before they end up getting the Dragon.
I like that. It does clean So obviously it steals objectives away from the opponents, but also if you do lose the fight, then there's no Dragon Tank, nothing to really grab for the other team. But looks like with the posturing going towards Baron, they've got to respect that. Gamers 2 cannot Dragon. So Lublin Shore, even just by moving west, is going to prevent the Dragon here. Good play.
Going to go ahead and set up the vision control too, and that's going to make Gamers 2 run around, make Dude use some of his time to reward, use some of his wards there too. And now they're going for a pick.
Oh, not going to land. JWoww had Banshees anyway. Dude, Black Shield early. And stops all the damage from Take Fun's Q as well. So nothing earned so far. Gamers 2 pushing in towards the mid lane. As long as they're in the right position, they should be able to take a lot of damage on this turret. Yuki and Ocelote are now trying. They're losing a lot of health. Lublin Shore.
Flank from the side from Kuban though.
They're going to try, but the turret goes down. Can they get Libic now? Very, very low on health. Inhibitor's going to go down, and LBS just still not trying to get in. Libic's going to be going down. He flashes, and he dies anyway. The Tormented Soil from Dude claiming the last hits now, so 5v4. Gamers 2 still trying to wrest control over the map. Going to be the dodge away on the Cocoon. They have another minion wave now. JWoww there as well. This turret will be taking a lot of damage there.
Kuban's trying to come in from the side. He's been trying to do this all game long. What is it going to reward him with?
Well, he's going to try for a one-man with the 5v4. Makros in this fight. There's the ulti kicks. What can he get? He kicks actually Yuki back in. Damage on a Dude. Kuban actually not going to go down. They find the kill, and he flashes out 2 for 1 overall, but no AD carry is a big deal.
Yeah, and the kick backwards was really good there. It got Yuki, the highest damage threat on the team, out of the way, and Ocelote wasn't hitting his skill shots for the remainder of that fight. So his damage, his DPS was effectively 0.
All right, look at so JWoww trying to go and can't quite find enough damage, pushing Lublin Shore back though, but it means they lose a lot of health. They will get the top turret for it, and they go back. And actually, Morden wants Makler. He flashes back. The damage comes in. There's the retreat away from Morden. Can he stay away though? Kuban is around. The flash in. Take Fun finds one. Does not get the chain down, though. He's still going to try for Ocelote, though. Can he get the rest in? Dashes in. Yes, he can. JWoww shows back up, finds a kill, and now he's got to run away from Kuban, though. Random Omen puts the slow down. Makler's still chasing, though. Morden can only put so much damage down. Puts the burst in. Oh, he's going to try.
He's waiting for the cooldown. Oh!
Too far away. Yeah, that was going to be a kill picked up. Nicely done, Makler, to claim that one. Lublin Shore now within 13,000 gold. JWoww trying to get away. He can't do it. Libic putting the damage down, claims the kill. Lublin Shore win a fight, actually. If you count Yuki from a while ago, that's an ace.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's an unofficial ace.
5 for 2 overall.
Yeah, and they have to go back to their base right now, though, because they're going to lose that turret in the mid lane.
So it's 3 turrets and an inhibitor for a 5 for 2. For what that's worth, that's still better for Gamers 2. They're getting more out of this, despite the respawn timers.
But Baron is being started up by Lublin Shore because there's such long respawn timers here for Gamers 2. Yuki's going to be there, but what can he do to all these members? He's just shredding Makler and Libic,
This is risky for Makler. He's like 1 hit from dead right now. He's got to get out.
But that's all who's in there. Oh, he's going aggressive.
He's trying. He finds one. Now on a kick is the kick back to keep him away. But now, that was just a great play by Yuki.
He wants to start it, but at the same time, he doesn't have a smite anywhere close or a tank. But now, Dude coming in, he actually disables the ward. And now he's going to get close enough to use his abilities.
Does not land the binding Tormented Soil. No, he's going to ult in for Libic. Big damage is going to come out. Libic's going down in this one. 100%. There we go. Kill picked up by Yuki. 4 item AD carry. Yeah, it's going to go quite well for them. So Gamers 2 just keep finding ways to fire back. Up 6 kills again. Up 13,000 gold as well. This could be game soon.
Dude played that so well because he disabled the ward and didn't attack it. He walked straight by it, so it won't reveal him.
Yeah.
Then Yuki attacked the ward. So then he was off on the side, and it just showed, oh, Yuki's... Nope. There's a Morgana right next to you.
Yep.
Speaking of warding, there aren't any around the Baron pit anymore for Lublin Shore. Gamers 2 are going to pick this up for themselves. They have super minions down the middle, Baron buff on themselves, and a 14k gold lead. They just have all the cards right now. And you can see JWoww, he went for the Zephyr after he went a little bit tanky. So now not only can he duel people, but he's a fantastic team fighter as well.
He absolutely is. There's a lot of power on pretty much everybody now on G2. You're seeing the tank builds really coming out. Frozen Heart looks like it's the next item to be picked up there for Morden as well. So he's going to add a lot of team fight utility. He's going to hurt Makler pretty bad with that one. There's the cooling. Put the damage down. Why the heck not? Fancy footwork for Yuki.
They'll also give him the cooldown reduction he needs for the max CDR.
True.
Because he's not going lock-in.
He's at 35 right now in items. So Morden, typically you actually often run 5% CDR from Masteries. Some have run up from runes as well. So yeah, he's in a good spot. Dude, level 15 Banshee's Veil on him. Has gone for the more defensive type of build. I've seen some guy rush Locket. Not going to be the case for Dude. That's fine. He's doing well. 2, 4, and 13. A great score. Inhibitor is respawning, though. So Gamers 2 don't have any extra aids in the map aside from this Baron buff to try to close the game out. But, you know, Golden Baron could be enough.
Yeah. They definitely have a lot of cards in their hand that they can play. And Lublin Shore have to play a little reactionary right now. and wait for a misstep, or try to force something onto Yuki, get him out of the fight as fast as possible. They did it before with Kickus and a kickback, but now these Banshee's Veils are going to put a huge damper on that.
So we're going to get with this one.
Just to put it in perspective, Yuki is full build.
Yep.
He's not going to get any stronger than this. Mockler, 3 items.
Yeah, he's got a lot of room to grow. And actually, big damage comes out. Libic, oh my gosh, look at that one!
Wow!
Ocelote ultimate takes down Mockler. That's not going to be good for Lublin Shore. One turret's already dead. They got a minion wave as well. Go ahead and grab 2 inhibitors real fast for Gamers 2, but with the 5-on-4 push, with the Baron buff, no AD carry, minions flooding into the base, this could be it closing out in about 44 minutes. Kuban trying to wreak some havoc, goes in towards Yuki. He's going to try to kite back as best he can. In comes Kickus, burst comes out. Kuban takes a lot of damage. He will fall. Kickus cannot find a way in on this fight. Could be a second kill picked up as well. Nothing really permanently gained for Lublin Shore. And down goes that last turret. Down goes the Nexus. And Gamers 2, in a hard-fought 44-minute game, take out Game 1.
And despite having the less impressive performance against their semifinal opponents, Yuki and Dude come up huge and show that their performance throughout the first 4 games, where they almost had 100 KDA, wasn't just for show.
Yeah.
They bring it today. They had a great performance against Mockler and Libic, who aren't pushovers and are actually very key components of Lublin Shore. They shut them down, they rotate all around the map, and they pick up objectives. It's Gamers 2 from start to finish.
Yeah, 9, 7, and 29, the combined KDA for the bot lane of Gamers 2. It's like a 5-ish something KDA, like very, very well played by those guys. They played it really well. They dunked on the lane. They transitioned that into control in team fights. I saw them play almost every battle near perfect. And Gamers 2 just played the entire game around, we're going to take your blue buff, we're going to take your dragon.
Yeah.
Over and
the
over
bottom
and over
side of the
again.
map, where they had control and an advantage in the bottom lane that they kept pushing in terms of jungle control and objectives.
That's a really smart way to play the game, to identify where are you good. And like,
It's the crowbar.
Yeah, of course, of course. You can see the microcosms of it all across the game, right? When you have the 2-on-0 meta, the level 1s, you're like, okay, cool. We're going to, one team owns top and left, the other team owns bottom and right. And like that rule applies throughout the game. You own the sides of the map that you're strong on. That was the turret that went down first. They pushed those waves in all the time. They kept owning that side of the map. They kept playing that one as well. And yet you didn't see the same happen for Lublin Shore. They could not abuse the fact that Kuban started the game 2 kills up on JWoww.
Yeah.
JWoww still scaled up and did well.
Yeah, very, very well for JWoww there, despite being camped in the early game. But yeah, they pretty much crowbarred that bottom lane. That's the term I'm going to use for it, because it's your advantage.
Yeah.
And you immediately just use it to pry open the game, and you apply pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very great strategy just to realize what your strength is coming into the game. You're like, we have an early game bot lane that beats their bot lane.
Yep.
Let's push it. Let's push their jungle, get the wards out there that we need. And Yuki and Dude played it perfectly. And Ocelote played it really well as well, focusing most of his attention on that bottom half of the map.
Yeah, he did.
Just constantly wave clearing, constantly roaming around that area and keeping Dragon for himself. Mm-hmm. They didn't really get that top turret, tier 1, until they had already gotten mid tier 2. So that just kind of shows where the pressure was on the map in comparison, because they always went for Dragon. Even if the top turret was like, we could get that, but Dragon's in a minute.
Yep.
Let's go get Dragon.
Set up Dragon.
Didn't drop a single Dragon that game.
Yeah, and that was just impressive. And I got to hand it to Ocelote's individual play as well. You mentioned him a second ago, because he did win the lane against Take Fun. I mean, it was a close battle overall, but it was Ocelote always holding a small to moderate CS lead. Every jungle gank that happened in the mid lane, Ocelote would heal bait a teammate and keep them alive.
Really good.
Those
were
absolutely great. Those were absolutely great. Those were really, really well played. And time and again, something would happen there, and a fight would erupt. And Ocelote was powerful enough that he could convert the fight for his team. His ultis were good, and that worked exceptionally well. Just the fact that he could kind of contribute in team fights, and that was kind of the battle that Gamers 2 played. Was a very slow, controlled, team fight-oriented game. You notice that Lublin Shore are running a LeBlanc, and they're running a Lee Sin, they're running a Twitch. They have such good individual playmaking and pick potential. So many ways to roam around the map and just look for a kill somewhere, and they were never able to find it. Some of that could be Lublin Shore, some of that could be Gamers 2 being safe, but the fact that you never saw Lublin Shore's lineup do what it's supposed to do is an issue.
Yeah, because the lineup that Gamers 2 had selected for themselves, they just got 500 gold advantage doing nothing in the game but
the
CSing.
laning phase.
Yeah, just through the laning phase. Then it got extended to 1,000. They got first blood, but it would return to kill in the mid lane because of Ocelote and the heal and the bait. It was very well played there through all of them. And I do actually have to go back and say Take Fun was being really, really nice there. when the disconnect happened.
Yeah.
I do have to say Take Fun is very respectable
QW,
for that.
Just
yeah.
kidding.
He was like, I could kill you. You know what? That's not fair.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a scumbag about it.
Yeah.
So I really, really respect that. Because there's a lot on the line here. A lot of people would jump at the opportunity and just be like,
sure.
Well, you know, it's not my prerogative.
We've all played solo queue. We know what that's like.
Yeah. It's like
everyone's had that happen.
It's like you disconnected. That's on you. But he was
Sure.
like, no, I'm not going to be a scumbag about it.
Yeah. When you realize he's not running, we're like, well, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not normal. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
So-
pressing S to juke skill shots, and there's pressing S and being like auto attack.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we've all seen that one before. So, yeah, so that was good. And of course, you guys like saw the disconnect and reconnect message.
Yeah.
Like that was obviously paused
So
for a short time.
I
once they
thank him for the
realized-
sportsmanship integrity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, everyone involved, I think, played that one pretty much right. And of course, Gamers 2 won the team fight right after,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And like that was like, I was like almost glad that they won that team fight just because like, oh, he took 400 damage he wasn't supposed to take, but of course that still panned out, so that was good. Okay, so let's think about the next game then.
Yes.
I think I
think you ban Lucian or you take it
I-
for Lublin Shore, just flat out.
Yeah, I agree with you, right? And it was funny because G2 put so much effort on Aurelia instead,
Yeah.
and yet that wasn't the determining factor.
No.
And so you consider Ocelote's champion pool. His Nidalee was left open. That didn't even matter. They went for Ziggs, actually kind of more well-rounded champion.
First time he played it too.
And it went great. Again, Lucian, yes, massive. Dudes Morgana also pretty scary. So you gotta consider, yeah, the high priorities, what people are gonna go for. Because Gamers 2 definitely seem like they've pulled out new tricks, right? Bring out things they hadn't been playing before. Again, the first big Ziggs, for example, or the first time Ziggs. So there's things that LBS are like, oh shoot, what do we worry about now?
Well, here's the thing too: is Lublin Shore, they use wombo combo team comps for the most part. That's where their victories come from. Whereas Gamers 2, they love poke and siege. Most of the time, they fail when they pick something for Ocelote that doesn't have that type of like the 2 games he lost were on Lulu, where he's not a deciding factor. He's more of a support for his team, and it's on somebody else.
Yeah.
They win when he picks Nidalee, Cassidon, LeBlanc, and things along those lines. So he's won both games he's played in Nidalee. He's won his Cassidon game. He's won his LeBlanc game. He won a Lulu game, but that was way back in the round of 20.
Yeah.
Which is just, you're against
You generally have weaker opponents.
Generally, you do have weaker opponents back then. But overall, Ocelote is a very big determining factor in this game. And as the shot caller, you want to be able to have a playmaking type of mid laner that sets up the strategy.
Yes, absolutely. When you can kind of start the moves yourself,
Yes.
it is actually a pretty big factor there. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, though, it's time for the second game between Gamers 2 and Lublin Shore. Lublin Shore's got to pull this one back if they want to go into the third place. Don't go anywhere.